Just so parched over here.
So how did body armor get you through that 3rd round?
It was the armor that I put inside my body. Man, you tell yourself it's just like just 15 minutes. That's all it is, just 15 minutes, and you get in there. It feels like an eternity. Holy cow! Still shaking from adrenaline, and my ears all blown up.
Tell us how you feel.
I feel great. You know, I've never been in a situation where I've lost 2 in a row, and there's no shame in losing to the women that I lost to, and they were really close losses. But still, just getting over that mental hump. Holy cow! Like, it is a struggle, and it's something that you have to tell yourself every day. Like, you belong, you belong. And this fight camp, all I kept reminding myself of was to have the confidence in my skills, and it's just like, I'm right there, I just have to believe in it. And so really just getting my mind on the same track as my body, like the biggest thing.
So in that first round, you took a couple really hard shots standing. I'm assuming first of all, do you remember them?
Well, this is the thing. Like, we know that Cortney is definitely like a counterpuncher, and if she chunks them, and you know she's trying to take a chunk of your head off, you know, and so we knew that, and so we prepared for it by trying to keep our head down. You know, sometimes I have a tendency of popping my head up when I throw kicks, but just really keeping it down and knowing that if she does catch me, it's not going to be on the jaw. You know, it's not going to be in the temple. It's going to be right, you know, right here on the hard parts of my head where it's not going to hurt me and might possibly, you know, hurt her like I've done in the past. You know, breaking my hand, it wasn't, you know, because I hit wrong, it's because I hit the forehead. The forehead's really hard. So just telling myself to keep my head down and making sure that, you know, if she does clip me, that I'm staying in nice and tucked.
Was it your intention to take it to the ground?
My intention was to utilize all my tools. You know, the majority of my fights are by submission, and so I have to be comfortable taking the fight where it needs to go. And so we knew that obviously Cortney's a counter fighter, but we also knew that she would start, if she got frustrated, that she would try to crowd me, she'd try to pressure me, because other fighters has had success in pressuring me and getting me back on my toes. So it was really, again, making sure that I stayed low, and if she did close the distance, to, you know, drop in for a body lock and use my wrestling.
It did look like that, maybe through some of the submission attempts, that she was trying, that looked like she tired herself out a little bit quicker. Did you notice that as well, and maybe use that to kind of push a little bit more?
I don't know. You know, I don't know what was inside her head. What I do know that is when you go for a submission attempt, or when you like throw your hardest punch and it doesn't do anything to the other fighter, it can demoralize you a bit mentally. So maybe that's what was going through her mind. But she never stopped trying to attempt to submit me. And so, you know, hats off to Cortney. It was really a fun fight. I really enjoyed fighting her, and I love her spirit, her character, and just her sportsmanship is amazing.
So this was fun, right?
It was. And I kept having to tell myself, Michelle, like, you fight because you love to do it. You know, like, don't make this a chore. Don't make this something you have to do. Like, this is something you love to do. And I was talking to my husband about it, like, how cool is it going to be when, you know, I'm 70 years old and I'm talking to my grandchildren, telling them, you know, when I was your age, I used to beat people up for a living. They'll be like, yeah, right, Grandma. And I'm going to whip out the DVDs, and they're going to be like, what's a DVD? You know? But, I mean, it's just, it really is cool. Like, who else can say that, you know, that this is my life. You know, I get to be a martial artist and compete in front of millions of people and learn and grow from it, you know.
You spoke a lot about adapting out there, and, you know, did you have to adapt to a crowd that was maybe a little bit more for Cortney? Did you use it for motivation at all? I didn't pay attention to that. I do remember, though, like, when I fought Paige in Sacramento, it was basically the same thing. We were headlining the show, but it was in Sacramento. That's Paige's hometown, you know. And I remember my husband telling me, babe, when the crowd cheers, they're cheering for you. Even though they weren't. That's what I told myself, you know. So I just
I just chose to take in what I needed to take in and just did my thing.
Visually, there seemed to be a significant size difference between both of you. Did you feel, did Casey feel stronger or bigger than you?
I didn't. I told myself at the beginning of fight camp that the size wasn't going to make a difference. You know, at the end of the day, we both weigh in 115 pounds. That's the only requirement. Whatever happens outside of that is, they're just, you know, we're all built differently. Just because she's taller doesn't mean that's an advantage to her. I have lower hips. I got big legs, and obviously it helped me with the takedowns tonight. So who had the advantage? You know, it really is up to you how you decide to take other people's strengths. And to me, I just told myself I spar with bigger size, taller girls like Holly Holm, and then we have a big stable of amateur fighters who are taller and bigger, you know, fighting at 160 pounds. And I spar with them every day. I spar with, you know, John Dotson and Ray Borg, and even though they're not taller, they're fast and they're quick on their feet. And so I'm just really blessed to have teammates that push me every day inside the gym, so that when I come to fight on fight night, it's just another day in the gym.
That arm bar at the end of the third that she got in there, how deep was it? Was it painful? Was there any thought of you? I mean, I know you're probably, where's that bell? Where's that bell? But
yeah.
How close was that?
In my head, I knew that I had rounds 1 and rounds 2. I know that I was winning the third round. My concern was trying to control her upper half, her shoulders, and trying to, you know, pop off single ground and pound. But I didn't take into account her hips. And she has really good hips. In some of the past fights that I've seen, she really doesn't like to go for submissions. I've seen her go a lot for Z-guards and a lot of up kicks and things like that. So those are things that we were preparing for. But obviously, every time you go into a fight, the fighter's different, you're different, the situation's different. So, you know, hats off to her for having really good hip movement. But my arm was just centimeters off from it being tight enough to hit an arm bar. So I knew that all I had to do was keep top position, and she wouldn't be able to secure that arm.
Was that ear, your damage to your ear? It looks pretty gnarly right now.
Is it starting to swell?
Yeah.
Dang, I better get some ice on that and put my hair down.
Right?
Like I said, it was like me keeping my head tucked. She chunks those punches, you know. And I mean, I'm glad it was my ear and not my eye or, you know, my temple.
Of your hair, is that something that you enjoy before the fight? Time for you to chill out and relax, or is it an annoyance that you need to get your hair done?
It's not an annoyance. It's not a time for me to chill. It's a part of the preparation, just like cutting weight and you know, doing the media obligations. It's all part of the preparation. It's kind of like the steps you have to go through to fight.
It's not an annoyance, so there's no difference. Guys don't have to really do that.
It's not an annoyance. I just, to me, the most important part for me is just to get my hair out of the way, so that it's not a distraction while I'm fighting.
I think with your popularity, I think you're immune to a lot of the things, but a lot of fighters with 2 losses coming in kind of feel that this next fight is do or die. Was there any do or die feelings about this fight?
If I allowed it to be a do or die, I wouldn't be able to go in there and be myself. Because when you say do or die, that puts a lot of pressure on yourself. And it's unnecessary pressure. You want to be able to go in there and just flow and be in the moment. If you go into a fight thinking I have to, you do it for the wrong reasons. You know, you don't do it because you want to. Like you know, at the end of the day, it's a competition. It's like, I want to win. You know, it's not because like you have to. You want to. Thanks, guys.